Sorry. Sorry about that. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. But what I want to say is, I will give you the reason for this stream. Give me a one if you can hear me at this point. I'm going to do this particular stream. I may have to come back because I think they have delayed. They've delayed this message. Still no sound. Still no sound. So give me a one if you can hear me, and a two if you cannot. Well, I'll start over again. I'd like to, can you give me, let's see, I'll just put this in the stream. Give me a one for sound, and a two for no sound. No sound. How's it going, you stupid foo? Okay. I got somebody can hear me. Somebody out there can hear me. So what I'm on about is there's a Brad Schneider, and it looks like there is a presser to announce an introduction to a Domestic Terrorism Act, or what is it going to be, like a Patriot Act 2.0? I don't know, just saying it looks like it's been delayed. So not only am I delayed, but it looks like the presser is delayed. So I'll try to keep you guys up to date on that as it comes in. But it was supposed to start around 10 minutes ago. Actually 30 minutes ago. It was supposed to start 30 minutes ago, and now they've pushed it back another like 2 or 3 hours, it looks like. So as soon as I get the update, I will bring it to you. And hope you guys are doing well out there. Lots of things going on, like a few things going on, some stirrings, I think, happening. I think I've seen some type of outrageous piece already. Looks like even the National Guard is not even safe from the Marxism. Yeah, Democrat. One of the Democrats are suspect of a National Guardsman. Some crazy makerisms going on. But sure, if we can, we might take a look at that. But I will say, I don't mean to, gussy you guys up and then make you cool your heels. Is not my. That is not the intent. But of course, I will bring you. The coverage as soon as I get it. And I'm not sure. I mean, I was hoping that there was either a draft. There was actually a draft out there, but I don't even see an actual draft. So as soon as I get it, I will bring that to you. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks so much for taking the time to feed the AI on today. If you haven't done so, you can do so. And hold on one second. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. And thanks so much for the loyal patrons, the subscribers, and even the friends over on Periscope. I really appreciate it. Hello, it's about time. It's oh my gosh, definition says a Patriot Act for, quote, domestic terrorist now. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that. I mean, but then we have Sleek Steak Rule, who says, I put popcorn kernels under my pillow last night, just a handful. Then I woke up today, popcorn, popcorn everywhere, Popcornopolis. Ay, ay, ay. And About Time says, hey, hi, hello. I just popped in to say hi. I'm on my way out. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's see. And Anarchy Television says, I've been hearing some cheddar on the grapevine. I can't confirm or deny any of it. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Sleek Steak Rule. And Ronald Finkley says, Donnie almost is gone. I know people don't want it. He was a weird president, never really was transparent to the public, in my opinion. All right, thanks so much for coming in. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep you up to date, but then there was a bit of a, kind of had an interesting They had an interesting, I think, attack on, it's just bizarro land. What can I say? But as soon as I get it, I will bring it to you guys. And I really appreciate it. So I'm going to run an ad or two, and I'll be right back. I want to thank you guys so much, and I will be right back. We'll be right back. All right. Thank you guys so much once again. And I found that article. It's kind of a gaslighter, but and it's from the Kentucky Fried. Looks like the Kentucky Fried, Kentucky Fried Dim. We've seen him before. Absolutely patronizing, and I have no idea. I mean, who knew that fried chicken would be this provocative? That it had that kind of staying power. Fried chicken makes people do strange things, right? Ay. So thanks so much, guys, for coming in. But I'll probably pull that story for the popcorn for the stream later. So it might be another flash. Like there's not going to be like symmetry to what's going on here, because what is it? It's popcorn week. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to read this liner here, and I'll give it to you straight. It says that the Dem rep says a pro-Trump guardsmen are quote, suspect, should be vetted as potential threat. Yeah, we're in trouble, right? Big trouble. But I will be back. Let's see. Ronald Finkley says, I've had my F book for ages and lost it. Had to reinvent myself. I only talk boxing. All right. Anarchy Television says, I've been known to do some crazy stuff for a No, not you too. Not you too. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably reset this one again. I'll reset this to come back in as soon as the coverage comes out. But I don't have I don't have a document or anything that we can do that extra mile of, either verification, or we just don't have a document yet. I don't even know what that's what the build number is at this point. I don't. Yeah. So we'll see. Looks like there's been a farewell address. And that's interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's still going on. It looks very much pre-recorded even on that. So all right, guys, I really appreciate you guys for hitting the like button. I'm going to run a couple more ads just to make it worth the while, and I'm sure I'll be back. I'll be back as soon as I can. And Ronald Finkley says, I'm just interested in what you talk about. Well, I'm trying to, there's a lot of interest, a lot of interest. And right now, I think I'm just trying to stay close to that. And Anarchy says, from what I understand, the National Guard is not out there to protect. Ooh. Hmm. All right. But out there to protect Trump. All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hello to you, Angela Reed. Thank you so much. So I'm going to run a couple more ads and I'll be right back. So for those of you that are just coming in, let me just do a little FYI here really quickly. So the premise of this stream was supposed to be to bring you the coverage on a new domestic terrorism act, so to speak, but they are delayed, and they've delayed it for another 2 hours, I think. And it's going to be, I think it's being introduced by Rep Schneider, I presume. Is the clubhouse. Somebody from the clubhouse is going to host a presser on this. It's a domestic terrorism act, is what I'm getting from that. But I'll be back with that information. But for now, I'm going to run a couple of ads, and I will be back. Thank you guys so much for taking care with the AI. And hang on. All right, thanks, guys. And for those of you just on an infomercial, that was an infomercial that I have included because of the times that we are in. And yes, that is in case something happens with the channel, and whether it's an interruption or whether you can't find me on this platform, where it'll give you some direction on where to go. And I will be continuing to update that, because even with that, I'm still going to have another there'll be a final base place to go, I think, before it's all said and done. And just shout out to the definition of anarchy. He mentioned on his show. You guys might want to get over and see what's going on over there. He mentioned on his show, we're not sure how much more or how much longer, rather, will we be able to speak openly on, these types of items. And that's why I find that it's pretty pertinent that we find out what's going on with this new act that's being introduced. And I don't know, maybe the sun is going to set sooner than we even thought, but I thought it might be interesting that we just check it all out. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm not sure even what's going on with the Parler situation. I'm not exactly on Parler, but for those that are on Parler, I think somebody said that one was kind of sort of back. I don't know what that means. It's either it's back or it's not. I don't really do demi or halfways. I don't really deal in that. Anarchy Television says the FCC just put out a notice or a threat. However, you take it to all radio operators to not use the radio to commit crimes. Wow. Anarchy, is it possible that you can send me that? I mean, yeah. Yeah, if you could send me that. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube and the other platforms didn't start updating their own, of course, their service and their agreements, their terms of service and agreements. In fact, if you guys haven't even taken a look at YouTube, that I think they've added something else to their site about things that are harmful, or the language in it. You have to go into, I think, your YouTube studio. If you click on, I think, one of the videos, they have somebody there that's going over and who knows it, they probably throw it out something like conspiracies or something like that. They're going to deem anything that's not, of course, on mainstream or anything that's not on mainstream or but it's open. I even talk about the World Economic Forum, these kinds of things. These things are open formats. So if it's openly and ready, it's spoken openly, if it's openly spoken about and it's available online, I don't really know how that jives with a conspiracy theory. Even they've rewritten the definition of this conspiracy theory, if you will. But Anarchy, if you could provide any of that or any of your reference on that, if you could, let me know. I think my email is out there. It's just, I'll just put it here just for kicks. This is for any, if you guys want to send an email, that's fine. But yeah, if you have a reference for that, and actually, maybe I'll just go to the website and see what, so I think there's going to be a lot of things rolling out, and you gotta keep keeping up is what's going to be, I think, the one of the biggest challenges is if you're able to keep up with it all. So thank you for that. Yeah, we'll see. I just think that this is going to be a wave of things rolling out. I think especially this first 100 days. If we're on tap for a true first 100 days, I think there's going to be a lot coming out, a lot of rolling out. Ronnie Mann, how are you? Thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Ronnie Mann says, censoring a sitting president is only an foreshadowing of what's to come for the general public. Now, yes, very much, very much. And Anarchy says, I can send you a link to a ham operator that posted it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anything that you send, but I'm very much, I think maybe I should just start a little file of what's coming out. And because I think it's just going to be, it's going to be rapid fire things. In fact, I'm going to be honest, these things, we've talked about this previously on this channel. There's things that are already sitting in wake. We've talked about, of course, Pelosi has talked about all that she's bragged for 4 years about the amount of bills that they had passed. So what do you think those bills are just lying in wake to be passed. So I think some of it is probably already there. So I think that's why there's going to be a wave. There's going to be a wave of bills that are going to come, and they're already, it's just going to be drop the stack and sign or stamp and stamp and go. And then, it's magic. So there were like 200 something bills, they had all these pet project bills. It's just a matter of, I think, the priority, but I do think that the censorship will be a priority. Thank you so much, Ronnie Mann. I appreciate you for coming in. And as I said earlier, if you guys haven't had an opportunity to hit the like or the unlike button, or if you haven't had a chance to share out the stream, it would be helpful with feeding the AI. And if you dare to share it out, that's even more helpful. But just also make sure that you're still subscribed, and that helps everything. Okay, I'm going to run another ad. You guys are such troopers. It's kind of turning like a test, but I will, as soon as I can, I will be back with, actually, I'll just go ahead and flash. I'm going to go ahead and share our screen with you guys on what I'm on about. Literally what I'm on about. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Actually, I guess we could probably, let's start at 2017. Let's start at 2017 on the bills that are coming, they're going to be rolling out. So as you can see, this is coming from Fox Business, and I'm just using that because that's where it's being covered. I think there's a farewell kind of a speech going on. I don't know if I can deal with that right now, but we'll see. And I think the amount of National Guard at the Capitol is probably getting a little bit more attention as well. So we'll see. We'll see what's in the mix by the time I get back. Oops. And what do I have here? Oh, you shared your. Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Ronald Finkley. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much. You said even on your Twitter. See, I'm surprised. See, the thing is, speaking of Twitter, I've talked to the followers I don't have followers. Okay. You guys are subscribers. I'll stick with that. The subscribers over on Periscope, that is going to be my only option to continue a stream is going to be on via Twitter. And I'm thinking maybe that's even a possibility. Maybe that we're going to be maybe there's going to be a consolidation of these platforms. I'm not taking that off the table either, because if they're telling you where to go or your platform is not going to survive, I mean, how long does it take? I'm not convinced that it won't happen that way, that you'll be told where you can continue. And then, of course, I don't know, see what they like, or if they don't like your content, and then you'll be off the cliff. Ronnie Mann says, no unlike buttons here. Only like, share, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ronnie Mann. Ronnie Mann is the gold standard. Thank you so much. And Kathy Latour, thank you so much for coming in. And Ronald Finkley says, I used to have Periscope. I like Twitter. Well, I think I heard maybe the graphics are better over on Twitter. Maybe they're more accommodating over there. So we'll see what that looks like. And then Anarchy says he sent me a link to my email. Okay, I'm gonna look for it. Let me just look and see right now. Thank you, Anarchy, for doing that. It's like I'm gonna have to check out all the alphabet organizations. Oh my gosh, I see it right now. So, okay. Is it Warren's? Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? Anarchy. That sounds a little bit suspect to me. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Can you what is your take on that? Or do you feel like sharing it? I mean, you don't have to, but I'm just thinking that sounds a little bit like almost real time. So it's just a little bit too convenient, or too much of a coincidence there that they're making that kind of they've added that. Yeah, but I think we're going to have state run everything. Now that might be hyperbolic or extreme for me to say that, but I do think that we're going to have a lot more. It's going to be a lot. I think I did hear Barack Obama say not too long ago that in order to recover from this 4-year period, that it's going to be a lot of regulation. So as soon as I'm not sure. I think that was probably a month or two ago. And I think, the regulations coming down on the people, like it's really going to come down. So I really appreciate you guys. And I do apologize, but that was a network issue. The network issue is the reason that I'm not streaming. I'm not doing that coverage right now. It's because they changed the time. So I don't know, the powers that be, maybe they're not quite ready for that meeting, but I will be back as soon as I have it. And worst case, I would do a moonlight stream if it's too crazy, or if they change the time again. And Ronnie says, thank you so much, Ronnie. You're awesome. And Anarchy Television says, Effie, how are you? It's been a lifetime, Effie. How are you? It's nice to see you here. It's nice to have you guys all here. And I'm definitely going to be coming back with as much of this as I can on this new domestic act. So Anarchy says, I take it as a threat. The FCC is going to deem whatever they think as a crime and use enforcement actions on radio operators, everything from ham radio operators to CB. Wow, that is, this is getting yeah, Ronnie says welcome to 1984. And Effie says, "Hi, likely a new fascist corporate state run everything." Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to have state police, you know, state run everything. State regulations. Yeah, I think it's going to come it's going to be fast and it's going to be hard. It's going to be harsh. And Ronald Finkley says, "I'm really upset I had to lose FB. I had one account all my life. I had a new account was strange to me after I tried my best to retrieve it for 3 days. This was suspect." And Anarchy says, "I really don't think they want us to communicate with each other, no matter what type of means. We seriously might have to go old school, face to face." I don't know. It's like everything is working, it's working against. It's like you kind of get dependent, you become codependent on the technology just long enough to for your undoing, you're free enough to realize you're not free is where I'm trying to is what I'm trying to say. Um so maybe go for this one. And Effie says, "Better. My son is out of the hospital. Sorry, I haven't been very active lately." No, no problem at all. I'm That's good to hear that you're good to know that your son's out of the hospital. Hope he's doing well and on his way to much better health in these wonky times. But yes, I'm just glad you came in. It's been several seems like it's been several months. But I'm still here right now. And speaking of that, in the spirit of Effie Loves America, I'm going to play the commercial again. So, in the event that I go down or the channel goes down, here's a little bit of backup for you. And also, I think there's going to be some online stuff like a newsletter and that kind of a bit coming up. But in the spirit of that, we'll play this for Effie. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, you know what, Ronnie Man, you guys are really turning me into you're sparking a lot of thoughts. Like what's it, like the precogs? If you guys remember that from Minority Report. Um and who was that? That was it Disabled Vets Perspective. If shout out to Disabled Vets Perspective. I think he talked about something similar to this. Yeah, it's intense. This is the I'm going to paraphrase you, DVP, if I might. He said something to the effect of they always kind of show you they always kind of show you what's going to happen, or they kind of give you a preview. And when you think about that, most of our Hollywood ties, the cartoons, I was thinking about FaceTime, and I can even go back to, I don't even, you guys can chime in wherever available, but I even thought about I'm just going back to Inspector Gadget with the inspector's assistant, Penny. And Penny always could answer her watch. Penny had an iWatch back then where she could just, get that message right away. And she would have the inspector on her wristwatch when she would answer, or she'd get the assignment. And then you can think of I don't know, maybe some of the first Zoom calls, maybe it was from the Brady Bunch or from the Love Boat. We've had screens everywhere. So we've had a preview. We've had a pretty nice preview of what's possible for years now. We just, I guess we didn't put the, you know, it was entertaining. It was just entertaining. And then it turned into, I don't know, what can I say, where we are right now. Maybe that was, so they're showing us, what's possible. And then the Minority Report, the Precogs, and there were some other movies in which, you could see surveillance, like Surveillance State. Surveillance State, I think, kind of encompasses quite a bit, kind of covers quite a bit. I hate to dress you guys up and have you cool your heels when I was supposed to be doing a real stream. I may have something for you here. Just one second. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I'm going to read a couple comments. Barney Stinson, I don't know. Can you please translate what that means? I played saxophone for 10 days in high school. So when you say SAX, sax, it could go many ways. And even if you guys remember Jem and the Holograms, Jem had a, Synergy was who she would call on when she got into trouble, or if she needed to, make like a banana and split. She would say, Synergy, I need you to, she'd grab her earrings. And so, you had a Bluetooth, even on Jem and the Holograms. And you had, this vanity, you had the vanity that she would talk to. That was Synergy that I'm referring to on that one. So we've been shown what's possible for a long time, even in the Star Trek films, the Star Trek films, just having somebody downloaded all of a sudden, or you get your orders for the day or your directive for the day. That we've had some eye devices. It was Ion Entertainment first, Ion the cartoons first, that these things were born first. So it's not the first time that we've seen some of this. So 1984. Yeah. Let me do Effie. Effie says, woot, Alex. And Ronnie Mann says the Precogs. Ronald Finkley says, I'm going to ask for myself, do you think us who cannot understand DO are just a little off? I'm not sure if I understand the question 100%. Are you trying not to spell? Are you talking about DT? I'm trying to answer your question without cracking the code, and I'd like to answer it. So can you just clear it up? It looks like I'm not sure what you're asking. Do I think that some of you that can understand? I'm not sure if it's about understanding. It's just I think you have to be a human being. People are not very humane, is what I think. Nobody can have. We're in this wonky age of nobody can have an opinion, or no one can say anything just in jest, or no one can even say anything in passing without it being not only weaponized against them, but just totally propagandized and weaponized. And it even makes me think, okay, well, do you have you have no compass, or you have no filter where you can't even have enough discernment to figure out, not you, but just generally, a lot of people don't seem to have enough discernment to even realize that things can mean more than one thing. They just go to the worst case scenario. But that's what the media, the mainstream, wants you to do. They want you to be outraged. And I would imagine that people should be exhausted. You can't just keep being outraged about every little morsel or every little thing, or take everything out of literal context. But I don't know. I don't know that life. I don't live that life. So I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying people just need to think for themselves and stop waiting for people to feed you something. Instead of go get it for yourself, so that when you get it, it's yours. It's not something that nobody on this channel is trying to convince you of anything, or anybody. I always say you guys are responsible. You're still responsible for your own literacy. You're responsible for your autonomy. You're responsible for that. Otherwise, you just keep getting more demoralized, docile, demonized. You just keep getting hit with all those, you get hit with all of that. figure of speech. You would think that it's like, wow, you can't even use a figure of speech or you'll be stoned or, I don't know. This is okay. I have a couple of more messages here. I'm just kind of like rambling. I'm rambled into 41 minutes and 36 seconds. But I'll definitely wrap this up in 1 hour. And then I will come back as soon as we hear from this rep on the Domestic Terrorism Act. And as soon as I get some documents on that, of course, I'll bring that to you as well. TAPS Act. Yes, and the definition of anarchy. Shout out to you. The Jetsons showed us FaceTime. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And FP Loves America, consume, vote, trust the government. And Anarchy Television said the Simpsons have made some pretty good predictions. Imagine that. Those Simpsons. Yeah, well, it's not. I'm not a judgmental personality, but I think that people are responsible for doing everything they can to be informed. Even when it comes to school districts, I personally don't even think that it's the public schools' responsibility to educate children, our children. I don't. So that if they come out and they're not quite where they need to be, so school system failed my kid. And which I find it's a disadvantage. It's a disservice to the kid, but I don't know. I think some people just like to be dominated or like to be under control, or they like to be influenced, or they like to be told how to feel about things. I don't need a celebrity to tell me how to feel. Not Oprah, not Gail, none of these personalities, not some athlete. I don't need that. Not for me. Because I don't live in that life. And most of us don't live in that life. So when something comes down way harsh, it's not going to affect them. It's going to affect, the people that don't relate to them. But that's the thing about elite. They're always spouting off about things that they really don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea. There's no way any one person can know. And I say this myself. I don't know everything. I might know a little bit about a lot of things, but I don't know everything. And I'm not and I try to stay in my domain of competence. Hello, G Money Man. How are you? Yeah, I mean, you can even tell when people that avoid debates and that kind of a thing. Well, okay, well, that why avoid debates? But then some of these debates that I've seen, in the last 4 years or whatever season, whether it was a primary or general election, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. And then people think they can just say things these days and not have to. They don't have to back it up. They don't have to, substantiate what they say. They don't think they have to stand behind, their argument. They don't think they have to prove anything. They just, the sky is glittery today. And that's fine. They think that you can just say that and, then they expect you have to believe them because that's what they said it is. You can't ask why, you just, I don't know. I even find students that are like that. They don't really, I don't know if, I just think that some of the stuff that's happening right now, the culture is by design on some level. Because, and in some households, kids are kind of taught, well, you can't really talk back like that, or, being disrespectful, or, sometimes you reject somebody's idea, but you don't come full contact sport with it and say, hey, why did you say that? You need to prove to me what you just said. You need to tell me why you said that, where you got this from. And have you seen both sides before you got to that conclusion? Or did you even make a conclusion? Was there even enough information there to make a conclusion? That's what I'm on about. So Ronald says, I don't know why I voted for Trump, but I think was influenced by all the things I've seen. It just built me up to do it, not trying to say something bad or about the guy, aka Joe. Well, you're good around here. This is back before the internet became the nearly ubiquitous form of information gathering. Us old folks had television. It's so funny. It almost sounds like they even did Wonder Woman a disservice because, even when she was, this sounds ridiculous. I don't know if you guys remember, what was it? Linda Carter. Linda Carter used to have to, she spun around before she could transform into, and even Superman, they had to turn around. They didn't get to use the beam me up or the beam me a spin kind of a transformation. They didn't get the digital transformations. They had to put some physical energy into their transformations. And so we're just kind of random here for anybody that's just now coming in. We're going to be looking at an act that's coming down the pike. It's been delayed, and that's why I'm not so much talking about it right now, but it's a domestic terrorism act that's being introduced. There's going to be a presser by Rep. Schneider. I think it's Brad Schneider. And because they delayed it, that means I'm delayed. So hopefully you guys will come back at some point. Tina Hardman, how are you? Thanks so much for coming in. And the definition says on point B, what I eat don't make you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And then Ronnie says, yes, predictive programming. And G Money Man says too much propaganda out here. You're right. You could scoop it up with a shovel. You need a shovel for it. And Ronnie says, welcome to the circus. Where's the popcorn? Because I figured we won't just have a popcorn day. We'll make it a popcorn week. Because every day it seems to be, But Anarchy says, I also sent you another video on your email on 2+2. Yes, I'm anxious to get into that one. And definition says no substantiation, no resources, no context. Right. There's like so many campaigns. I've said it before. I heard it was best. I'm not the author of this, but what was it? Disinformation, misinformation, and no information campaigns out there. So you just got to hang on. We're available. So in 10 minutes, I'm going to fold the tent in and pack it up. And I'll come back as soon as we have some update on this, what I consider maybe like a Patriot Act 2.0 or whatever you want to call it. So thank you guys for taking the time to feed the AI. And whether you hit the like or the unlike button, or if you hit the share button, or if you're just trying to make sure you're still subscribed, that's very much helpful in these times. Ronald Finkley says, I live in a blue state. Maybe they got wind. I just voted and went with my thought. Oh, wow. Way harsh. Way harsh, Ronald Finkley. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not saying I'm dismissing that at all. I'm just saying that, that's, this is like, this place is already transformed. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if it took 4 years to do it. I'm not sure if it took four years to do it. But the regulation, as soon as I find the piece on Obama saying about the recovering there's already a Truth and Reconciliation Commission being formed. So I think the regulation, I think, that it's going to be a lot of regulations. Yeah, and I bet to me that was kind of a no-brainer, but there was a live interview, so if I can find it, bring it. And I find that interesting that, he's so cavalier about regulation, and he didn't specify what type of regulation he was referring to. I'm sure it's going to affect every single one of us. And according to Effie loves America. She says, they remind me of a John Wayne quote. You're just spitting out words to see where they splatter. Thank you for that. It's so funny you talking about like westerns. You're in the western realm, and I was thinking I was going to watch. I don't know, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. In fact, I have a little bit of a a little bit of a meme, but I'm thinking they might yank that down. They might yank that down without a doubt. But it's also it's getting to be cumbersome already. Being on these platforms where you have to where you're coding language and creating jargon for your platform, your channel, or whatnot. And G Moneyman says disinformation and division equals death of democracy. Ronald Finkley says, yeah, I can imagine. I won't say if the regulation will be good or for the worse. Well, I can imagine it's not going to be for the good. I mean, based on the premise of, just what we're, the founding of the country and what we're used to. Kathy Latour says, I appreciate everything you are doing. I really do. I probably won't be able to go to those other places. I tell you, I don't know nothing about this phone, but God bless you if we're disconnected forever. Oh gosh, Kathy Latour, that sounds so bad. It sounds like a goodbye almost. But hang in there. I appreciate it. And Ronnie Man says, no, quote, no, ... The quote setup, end quote, for the quote change, end quote, was playing out long before these past 4 years. Right on. I think it's, yeah. Well said, Ronnie Man. And Ronald Finkley says, only time can tell, in my opinion. Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't see more regulations. I don't think, whether it's economics or when it comes to freedom of speech, I could never see where that would be good. I can't see regulation being good. I mean, regulations in other industries or other sectors, we have, I'm not going to say, I'm not completely naive. We have regulations in this country. We do, but we don't have them on speech. We don't have them. We haven't had them on the cornerstones of what this country was founded on. No, we haven't. And regulation is just really going to shut people down, is what it's going to do. It's not going to, I think there won't be any loopholes. I mean, maybe we had privileges after all this time, and now they're filling in. They're just going to use this situation to fill those, to fill some of that in. As soon as I find that, I think that'll be really good. This goes to November 16th. Okay, so yeah, I think, yeah, a speedy. Oh my gosh, I might have this sooner than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more challenging to find it, but I'm gonna go through and say hi to everyone, and I'm gonna pack us up and fold us in. If this is delayed beyond, I guess, another couple of hours, and I'll bring it back as soon as I can. I wasn't, like I said, I had no idea they were going to delay it, but so we have like 4 minutes and 20 seconds left before I close this one out. Appreciate you guys so much for coming in. So I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. And I'll run another ad. Definition of Anarchy. Thank you so much for all that you do. I really appreciate all your support. And Delacta Camille, thank you so much for coming in. It's been a lifetime. Hope you are well. And Anarchy Television, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. appreciate what your content as well. So thank you so much for that. You Stupid Food, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Sleek Steak Rule, thank you so much for coming in. About time. About time. It's always nice to get you in here. We're available. And Ronald Finkley, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And Angela Reed, thank you so much. And Kathy Latour, thank you. You're always very warm and genuine. Thank you so much. Ronnie Mann, thank you so much. Effie Loves America, thank you so much for coming in. Barney Stinson, thanks, Barney, for coming in. And who else do we have? G Money Man, thank you so much for coming in. And you're never late around here. And that goes for anybody in replay that chooses to watch this in replay. I will try to get back to you if you are watching this in replay, and leave a comment. Tina Hardman, thank you so much for coming in. And okay, I'm going to read a couple of comments and then run a couple of ads and we'll be done. R. Jones. Hi, R. Jones. She says, as far as I can recall, regulations are rarely ever good, and I'm old. Yes, I'm saying I can't really imagine what regulations. How many more regulations? We're already muzzled, and we're regulated already. How much regulation do we need what's this place going to look like in 6 months, 3 months with more regulation? I don't know. Give me your best shot. Ronnie Mann says regulations on peacefully assembling. Where they do that at? All right, Ronnie Mann. Okay. Ronald Finkley says, I just don't get is how minorities are beat. But if you are rich and a bold cop is just a regular person who don't abuse them, but I do blame all sides. If you abuse a cop, if you're mentally ill, abusive towards them. I'm not sure if I got all of that. So I don't want to respond to it and then not get it. It says, Ronnie, thank you so much. And different class status, I guess. And You Stupid Food says, yes, ma'am. You're welcome. I really appreciate it. So yes, I just want to say, speaking of that, and I know as soon as I go down this rabbit hole, I'm going to get stuck, and I'm not going to end this. I'm not. Maybe I won't do it. I had a friend that said something to me. He actually repeated a scenario that he had experienced with a friend of his. And it was outrageous. And I'm just thinking, just save yourself. Just save yourself. I mean, that's really all we can do. We're going to need to spend the next few months or several months saving ourselves, whatever that means, whatever that means. I know. I mean, that's what you have to do. So with that said, let me grab another ad and I'll be right back. And thanks so much. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, there's something for everyone. So please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not always reading these things for I'm not saying that I'm reading them for a I'm just it's to me it's entertainment. There can be some level of entertainment to some of these things, and just the tone, just the way, just the way that the way they're dripping with isms. All right, I really appreciate it. And Ronald Finkley says, "I'm just waiting on dinner. I swear I enjoy. I swear I enjoy trying to listen, and it takes me away from boxing or CNN." That's what we want to do around here. We want to get you away from the we want to get you away from those actors on CNN and I'm up to buffering right now. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and say so long, and it's possible that I will be back in the event that this press conference comes through in a couple of hours. So have a great rest of your Tuesday. And